how much you weigh. I don't care how tall you are.
Down goes West Coast. Jeremy Pitbull. Big left hand, and down goes Leo Valdivia. Left hand on the inside from Smith, and down goes Davian Green. Shots left hand goes on turn. And that is it. Now peace out the count of 10.
Whoa! What's up, man? So good to see you. It's been a while. I look around, I'm still here. I don't know where Rob's at. If you used to watch, Rob was on. Maybe he'll stop in from time to time. I don't know if they fired him. I don't know what he's doing. I think he's probably working hard behind the scenes. Speaking of behind the scenes, got a lot of behind the scenes news today. A whole new show. We're going to talk about what this new show is going to look like and how you're going to be helping out with this new show. Looking forward to doing that, but let's just talk about what's going to be on tap today. First of all, beautiful new set design. Second of all, we have to get bucked up. Let's get bucked up, baby. Yeah, you know what this is going to do to me. There we go. We have so much stuff coming up today. We're looking forward to it. Chris Lytle is going to be joining us for a new segment called Lytle's Locks around 12:15. Giving you some of the hot prospects to look at when we're headed towards Omaha here. We're looking forward to that. We're going to be talking to Tony Loco Soto, big winner from last weekend. And talk about some of the controversy there. Matter of fact, Luis Baboon Palomino has a video that he sent in that he wants to talk about why he thinks that Tyler Goodjohn won and Tony lost. And we'll check that out. And we'll also have Tony, of course, talk about that when he comes on. So much other stuff to get to. Of course, a lot of stuff has happened since the last time we've been together. Denver was the biggest event in the company's history. Really leveled us up as a company. And it was just a moment to behold in the history of this company. It was very cool to see. We're going to recap a little bit of that, the major events that happened there. We're going to talk about Greenville last week. There's so much other stuff to talk about, some behind-the-scenes stuff, and what this show is going to be all about. So we're going to figure that out together in a way. We have some new ideas, some exciting ideas that we're going to be doing, but I want it to be interactive. And you don't build a show overnight. We don't just come on with a new show. So I've always said that we're very kind of transparent with what we do and how much it's fun to be a part of the company with us and you, the fans, growing together. So we're going to grow together. And if you have ideas, we're going to take them. We're going to become more interactive as we go along. I'm trying to get a phone line set up for live phone calls. That will be cool. I'm also going to be reading some of your social media in the coming weeks. You guys can make comments, maybe live comments during the interviews. That would be awesome. We'll have a rotating chair of people, random people just coming on, different fighters, people throughout the fighting industry. So it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm also looking at trying to get you guys some prizes. I'm going to be talking to some of the sponsors and finding ways to give out prizes and just switch it up a little bit. It's going to be more than just interviews. Interviews are going to ask the questions that you want to know, but we're going to have some fun too. So we're really looking forward to all that. I have so much stuff. I basically want you to help us build the show. That's what it comes down to. And I'm so happy that you're here, whether you're watching on YouTube or the Bare Knuckle BKFC app. I'm glad you're there. Or Rumble. Welcome to Rumble. Can't put my hat on over the headphones, but we're proud to have them aboard as well. So a lot has changed, like we said, and we're going to get into all that. Chris Lytle is going to give us the picks. He can't gamble. He's not allowed. He works here. But he's got some great thoughts, so you can, and take his thoughts and take them to the bank. We're going to look ahead to Omaha, like I said. Very excited this weekend. By the way, BKFC.com, if you want to get on with that, and you should. $7.99 a month. You can't beat it, man. You can't beat it. But here and now while we're waiting, for Chris Lytle and Lytle's Locks to come up, we have all kinds of other stuff to get to. Matter of fact, we spoke about a video that Luis Palomino sent in, the Baboon. He was coaching, cornering Tyler El Tornado Goodjohn against Tony Loco Soto. And he thinks, I was in the ring after that, and we'll talk to Tony about this later, but he seems to think, and so did Tyler, that they won. It was not a unanimous decision, and that they won. So he had sent in a video pleading his case. I'd love to hear it. I haven't heard it yet. So let's watch that together. Do we have the video ready in the truck? I believe we do. Do we? Yes? Well, let's go to the video.
This is your Bare Knuckle World Champion. I'm going to keep it short and sweet. Why I believe Tornado Tyler Goodjohn won this fight. I give him 4 rounds to 1. I say, okay, he lost the first round. As always, a slow starter. Wins second, third, fourth, and fifth. Now, maybe I'm being biased. Let's give him the fifth. Regardless, we give him the first round and the fifth round. He wins second, third, and fourth by a long shot. And this dude quit. He quit around round 2, round 3. He was in the corner asking, am I winning? Am I losing? You got his corner telling him, you knew you were gonna come into this, don't you quit on me. Like, there was nothing but quick talk in the last 3-4 rounds of the fight. The dude was holding on for dear life, holding on to the ropes in between rounds, holding on to Tyler and taking him down to get a breath. He was drowning in deep waters. It was an obvious loss to him. It was an obvious win to Tyler.
So we can see what that is. It's obviously Luis Palomino telling us that, you know, he thinks that Tyler won. And again, he was very boisterous about that at the press conference. You know, he wasn't on camera doing it, but he was. I was standing there very, very much so. Afterwards in the ring, at one point when I was in the squared circle, I had to tell Tyler to get ready to go on with Cyrus and position him in the correct spot. And Tyler turned and said to me, he's like, I won that fight. That was my fight. So this is going to be an interesting thing as we talk to Tony Soto. I haven't heard him answer to that yet, so I'd like him to answer to that. And his conditioning, everything Luis has been saying, we're going to run all that by him, and we're excited to do that. We're excited about everything. Matter of fact, if you haven't seen yet, I'm excited about the number of events we're running. Because before, when we came on here before with the old podcast, we had like once a week, once a month, excuse me. And now we're doing at least 2 to 3 a month. It's huge. We're expanding. We have stuff in England coming up. We have some major signees, some major announcements we're going to talk about. And like I said, some behind the scenes footage. I actually just got some info of some signees texted to me as we're doing the show. Let's get that to you right now. This is the late breaking news. Let's see. What, I don't know. Is that the right one? It's been a while. Actually, you know what? Before we do the news, let's talk to the guys in the back that are going to be part of the show. I don't want to forget about you. Now we get the right one. Evan Zentar. He's back again. How you doing, Evan?
Great.
Great. Dave Jr., I don't know how much he's going to be on. He's just overseeing operations today.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's good to see you again, man.
Yeah, you too, bud. It's been a while. I know you're really busy. I appreciate it.
I am. And then you got Brandon there. He's going to be taking over some of the stuff in the back, so it's going to be a lot of fun. So I have some signees to announce. These are multi-fights signed. So this is breaking news. This just came to me on my phone. Multi-fights signed for one Trevor Loken. Congratulations, Trevor Loken. Want to see more of you in the squared circle. We have Sarah Click as well. I'm excited to see more of her. And Gabrielle Roman, who we just saw fight recently. I believe Gabrielle's from New Jersey, I think, if I can remember correctly.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, I wrote the Jersey boy. Yeah, she is.
She was at the Belfast tryout.
Oh, really?
First met her.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
I feel like it was a long time coming for her to be part of the organization. That was a while ago, right?
It was like 2 years ago almost.
I had seen her. I'd seen her in the elevator in the hotel going up there. She was very thankful to be here. She was excited. And then I'd seen her afterwards at the airport on the way home. She was coming out of the bar, and I talked to her for a couple minutes, and she's ready to go. So I'm excited she got signed. Congratulations to the other signees as well. I mean, this is huge. We're going to keep this info continue this info going. I'm sorry. I got no sleep last night. I was so excited that this show is coming back. Truly, man, this is like Christmas for me. But again, I'll tell you, multi-fight signed. Trevor Loken, congratulations. Sarah Click and Gabrielle Roman. So you're going to see more of them, and we're going to keep expanding the roster because that's what it's all about. We're about showing you new fighters from across the country, from across the world, and that's what I think we've done a good job at doing. And again, since the last time we were on here, a lot's changed, man, a whole lot. Matter of fact, we talked about, Denver, BKFC in Denver. And the thing I noticed about BKFC in Denver was the fact that everybody was coming out to see this. You had UFC fighters there. I mean, it was like a sellout crowd, and that's enough. The fans were nuts, like in a great way in Denver. We'll talk about that in the recap. But you had everybody paying attention to Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. I mean, there was tons of UFC fighters there. The most notable one, as you saw, Conor McGregor showed up, and not did he just show up, you saw him going nuts during it, and he was in the back scene putting up his proper 12, having a fun time, and it was cool. And I want to address something. Some people are like, oh, you guys paid Conor to be there. Not at all the case. Conor was excited to come, and what's even better than him just watching, Conor jumped up in the ring afterwards in the squared circle, and he faced off with Mike Perry. Is that fight going to happen? That's a fight I'd love to see. I know it's a fight you'd love to see. Drop it in the comments if you'd like to see that fight. I think that it was interesting that he had the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship title belt on, and how did he get that? Do you know? I mean, I saw it happen. That was actually a little nugget of info for you. Lorenzo the Juggernaut Hutt was standing there when he went up, and he kind of gifted him the title for when he went in the ring. I thought that was pretty cool because any picture he's in now, he's got the BKFC belt on him. Otherwise, you would have been like, what event was he at? So I think that was a really smart thing for Lorenzo to do. We thank you for that, champ. It was a good idea. But that event as a whole, killer, top to bottom. You look at the top 4 fights. We'll get to that in a little while. I might even ask Lytle what he thinks about that because he's coming on in a couple minutes for Lytle's Locks. But if you look at the top 4 fights in Denver, outstanding. And for the people that are sitting there in your head, and I know you are, going, this jerk off, he's not talking about South Carolina. We're going to talk about Greenville a little later as well. But Denver was the thing that leveled us up. And I'll tell you what, every fight on that card, top to bottom, was good. But focusing on the top 4, I mean, I don't want to get too deep into it, but Ben Rothwell and Josh Copeland, whoa. At first, I didn't think it was going to go that long. Josh Copeland really showed what a man he is. Josh Copeland really showed that he was there to fight. It didn't go his way that night, but man, wow, what 2 heavy hitters just going at it. You can't beat that. And then on top of that, you had Christine Faria, champ, the Misfit, taking on Rowdy Beck Rawlings, and that was another one. That's actually where Conor McGregor arrived, and I could tell he was enjoying the hell out of that fight, as was I. That's a fight that I know you've been waiting for a long time, and I'm glad we could deliver it. I wouldn't mind seeing it again at some point. I mean, they just showed out. That really, I think, of all the fights on that card in Denver, BKFC 41, I believe that was probably the fight you wanted to see most. And then here you can see on screen Eddie Alvarez and, they're showing, the highlight package. Eddie Alvarez and Chad Mendez. Here it is, the best of BKFC 41. I mean, Mike Perry. Oh. And Luke Rocco was insane, too.
He has had 2 fights in the sport of bare knuckle. This is the BKFC and indeed Pro Combat Sports debut for Jack Willoughby. There's a 1-2 off the scratch line for Jack Willoughby. He's in the black and gray trunks, purple and white trunks for Mitch Siebel. And just like that, down goes Mitch Siebel.
Fight. Knuckle up.
Right back to it. Off the feint, now into the clinch. Halftime plum snatched by both fighters. And the counter uppercut. And we're at 1 knockdown apiece.
4, 5.
From the halftime plum of Mitch Siebel, ducking his head now, Jack Willoughby. Knockdown number 2.
2, 3, 4.
Big left hand on the inside from Willoughby.
Look at these shots. I mean, it's insane.
Knockdown number 3, and now that's
Willoughby really showing out here.
And now this fight is over.
And this is what I say. Every fight on these cards, I'll say it all the time. You can't miss one of them. From the first ones to the last ones. Ones that you don't even know. You don't even know they're going to be good fights. It doesn't matter. This is Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. This isn't where you mess around with your friends and have a couple beers and eat some pizza and pay attention to the top 3 or 4 fights. Every fight matters. And the best part, as I say on the prelims, a lot of these guys, they want to come back again, or they're newer. So they're fighting for their lives, trying to show off.
Just like that, down goes Matthew Mestis, and this fight is over.
Look at that.
By K.O. Dylan, the Dog Weinmiller.
This is bout number 6.
J Action Jackson, this low on the card. I mean, this guy's been with us for a long time. It didn't go his way this night, but as you'll see, you know, it doesn't always go your way. And then Tomahawk Townsend, too. He's another one, man. So after this, I think they're telling me Chris Lytle is in the virtual waiting room for Lytle's Locks, a segment we're very excited about. And we'll get back to recapping a little of this card later on today. But right after they do the decision here, it's time for Lytle's Locks, or sooner. Lytle can't wait. He cannot wait. Chris Lytle cannot be a man that's made to wait. It's unbelievable.
Not up yet. 1 second.
He's not here yet, but he's getting ready. It's going to be awesome. If you're just tuning in, thank you for being here. Chris Lytle, Lytle's Locks, a new segment we're going to enjoy where he knows everything. This guy's been in fighting forever. There it is, Lytle's Locks. He's like our Rain Man. He's going to tell us everything. That's awesome artwork from Vaughn Design. Jer Bear, good job. He's going to tell us everything we need to know with Lytle's Locks. Just top prospects as we head into Omaha and just what he sees. Things that you can kind of think about if you're maybe wagering some money. I'm not allowed to do it. I work here. He's not allowed to do it. He works here. But the tips are there, and, you know, maybe you can kind of take your thoughts and join them with Chris Lytle's thoughts. He's a guy that when I talk to, his predictions are usually pretty correct. I mean, the guy's been around fighting long enough to have him on here. I'm excited to be talking to my boy Chris Lytle. And there's so much more than just fighting with Chris Lytle. And we're going to talk about some of the things that maybe you haven't seen before we get to the fighting when he comes on. And if he's waiting and hears it, he's like, oh my God, what is he going to bring up? I'm going to bring up Albuquerque, Chris. If you're waiting, you can hear this. And what happened to us all, me, you, Sean Wheelock, Cyrus in Albuquerque. It was it was a strange moment that none of us ever thought that we would kind of experience. And there was a little fighting back that happened. You'll find out about that in a couple minutes as we bring Chris Lytle on. And then on top of that, reviewing the Omaha card. Like I said, what better than Chris Lytle to review the Omaha card? Because I know it, you know it, but he knows it best. Chris Lytle in just a couple minutes. I'm waiting to get the confirmation that he's going to be coming on. But as we're waiting for Chris Lytle, let's talk again about Denver. Let's talk about that because we were just watching that. Every fight on that card, top notch. I've never been part of such an electric atmosphere. I'm telling you, this atmosphere, you could hear it on TV the whole time. It was like with the crowd when something big would happen. It was one of the most intense electric events I've ever been at. If you've never seen Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship, BKFC, that was 41. You have to check that out because I'm telling you, I've never felt it. It was like a gigantic party. I mean, when you watch, no knock on boxing, love UFC, but when you watch them, it's so sanitized, it's so organized, which is a good thing. We're organized, but it's a party. I mean, you can hear the crowds going nuts. The lights are going off, the smoke's blowing. You got all the people. I mean, Usman was there. He was watching. Justin Gage, he was there. It was nonstop UFC people. And I think what happened is some people might not have understood Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. Some people maybe never saw it. Some people maybe just didn't really like what it was putting off. Maybe they thought it was too brutal, too violent. You know, we always hear that, which we know that's not necessarily the truth. But I believe that it kind of leveled us up with the fighters as well, because our phones started ringing off the hook after BKFC 41. My phone ringing off the hook right now because he's ready to come on. Finally, Mr. Lights Out himself, my buddy, Chris Lytle. How you doing, Chris?
Dude, I'm doing great. Fired up. We got fights coming up, man. What are you talking about? Omaha, Nebraska? Are you kidding me? They always put on good fights. People are there. I don't know what it is, but Midwest, people just want to beat each other up. They want to see people get beat up. And, don't come out there, Brian. They'll punch you right in the mouth. They don't care.
I know, man. It's crazy. Before we get to that, I was talking about before you came on, we were going to talk about some stuff outside of just fighting. One of the things I want to talk about, Chris, because the fans never get to see this kind of stuff, is sometimes at shows, you and I will hang out, we'll go on little field trips. And we went on a field trip in Albuquerque a while ago, didn't we? And we decided to go see the Breaking Bad house, right?
Yeah. They don't like us. The lady was not well receptive. I don't know what it was. Maybe it's something the way I looked, didn't like my ears, but she was not very nice to us, and I didn't like her either. You know, we had a little dispute, a disagreement, but that makes me just want to come back every time I go there. So
I think next time we're there, we're definitely going back. It was hilarious because you had like Cyrus, you had, Sean there, these guys with the quintessential announcer voices. And this lady's yelling at us for no reason, just for looking at her house. We barely get out of the car. She's on the phone with the police. And then we're getting kicked off, we're leaving, and all kinds of stuff is being hurled back and forth. But it was hilarious because Sean just walked away, and you being you, me being me, and Cyrus being Cyrus, we just started yelling back to have some fun. And I think that's the fun stuff they don't see. Maybe we'll record it for the show next time and go back. What do you think?
I think that'd probably be a bad idea. We should probably not do that, but we'll tell our version. It'll be much better.
I'm recording it, dude. I'm not going to tell you I'm recording it. Let's talk about Lytle's Locks, this new segment that we have on the show. Very excited to have you on, Chris, because as I've been saying, who knows fighting better than Chris Lytle? You've been around it. You fought in the UFC. You fought in bare knuckle. You've done it all. And you can kind of see things the way that I can't, and maybe even some fans can't. So this is exciting to talk about this with you. As we head into Omaha, what are you seeing at top prospects? Because, look, let's be honest. You can't gamble. I can't gamble. But the people watching can. So give them some of your tips and win them some money, and then they can buy some merchandise from you or something, and then you get the money back that way.
That's a great idea. I like it. Well, there's a lot of good talent out there. I do want to touch on we'll go back and talk about the last fight we just had later on. But the people coming up right now, for I think what's going to be the greatest fight of the night, or has potential to be, I think Noah Cutter versus Cochran. I mean, you can't put Noah Cutter in a fight that he's not going to get knocked down. He's not going to hit people. He's all offense. That should be a great fight. Really excited to watch that one. Esteban Rodriguez, that guy, crazy looking Mohawk. He really impressed me last time. I honestly thought he was probably going to lose his last fight. He looked fantastic. I look forward to seeing him fight again. Ryan Braun, I think that's a good guy right there. Heavy hitting guy, especially for 205. I think he can do a lot of damage, especially in this fight. People want to do with the gambling. Jeremy Smith to me is a guy. He's in the main event. He's fighting, a huge veteran, Houston Alexander. But man, Smith has really impressed me his last few fights. I wasn't sure about him at the beginning. I thought he was a good, tough guy, solid. But man, he's really turned into he's starting to understand the sport better, and he's going to be a problem for everybody.
No, I think so too. I mean, what do you make of this Houston Alexander though? I mean, the guy is on a tear at 51 years old. He's been knocking everybody out he comes up on, and he doesn't seem like, to him, I mean, obviously he took the fight with Jeremy. Jeremy's tough, but there's not an end in sight to this. At 51 years old, how is he doing this? And he looks like he's in his 20s.
Yeah, well, luckily for him, he's had 2 fights, and they haven't really went that long. You know what I mean? So that's the thing. I think if he wins a fight, he has to do it early. He's going to go out there and do what he does best. They always talk about, as you age in a fighter, the last thing that goes is your power. That's what he's used, his power. So as long as he has his power, he's going to be fine. But he has to be able to use it early. Power doesn't last 3, 4, 5 rounds typically. So if he gets a first, second round knockout, it's going to be fine. But otherwise, that's when it gets tough. When that lactic acid builds up and you get older, you start thinking, man, I don't even like this sport that much. I don't like being out here. I didn't like playing. This isn't much fun. Let's talk about something else. Let's do something else. And then so it just doesn't go well. If you don't get a knockout in the first 2 rounds, I think it's Jeremy's fight.
Yeah, I think Jeremy's kind of saying the same thing. I think there's a big respect for Jeremy's power. I think Jeremy obviously respects his power, but that was the same thing when I was talking to the Pitbull. If it's early, it's going to be Houston. If not, you take him into deeper waters, he might drown. We'll see what happens. We're looking forward to it. Anything else on the Omaha card that you want to talk about before we kind of go backwards and recap what we just saw happen?
Man, I mean, how could you not? Absolutely. I mean, one great thing to me is, you see where we have, Elvin Brito, he is like pretty far down on the card for being a former champ and at his level. That's a great fight. Carlos Trinidad Snake is undefeated so far. I'm surprised that's not the co-main event. They got it early. Great. Let's start off the night with a great fight. That's going to be a big fight. But, who doesn't love the females fighting? And 2 of my favorites, J. Marsong Wong, Taylor Starling, that has got a great fight written all over it. I'm super excited about that one. Can't believe it's on this card, but I'm happy because right in the middle is going to be great. That's exactly what I want to see right there. Who would not want to see that fight? If you don't want to see it, this might not be for you. So I'm super fired up for that one.
That's right. Mentally, you're a fighter. So if you talk about what happened to Taylor when she fought Christine Faria, we all remembered it was kind of an early finish. Yeah. She stopped early. She quit. Mentally, does that hurt you as a fighter? Now she's going to another fighter. She just put that behind her. Because, there was a lot of blowback from that and stuff. So do you think mentally that's hampering her? It didn't seem that way to me when I saw her last week in Greenville.
Well, luckily for her, she had another boxing match after that. I think pro debut for a boxing. I'm not real sure, but I thought I saw her do a boxing match. And at least she looked like an animal out there. She went out there right after the other fighter. So I think she's kind of mentally gotten past that already, and you have to get out there and get past that because if you can't get over that, you're never going to be a good fighter again. It looks like she did. This is going to be a big testing ground for her, though. This is bare knuckle. Let's see how she comes out there, reacts to getting hit again. If she can go out there and deal with that and understand the different aspects and levels and whatnot, and get back on a roll, she could beat. The sky's the limit for this girl. She just has to believe that she can do it. Now she's seeing what is out there, and now can she adapt to that? We will see. We will find out. I think she can, but she has to believe she can. I think she does that, but proof's in the pudding, Brian. We'll see. We'll see come Friday what she really believes.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to what she does, and I often wonder too if going through that with Christine almost made her tougher, made her want it more now because she has to come back and prove herself. So I'm really looking forward to that. You got Jimmy Altair Rivera on the card. That's an amazing fight as well, anything he's in. So we're looking forward to that. But we're limited on time here, so let's kind of look back to Greenville and your thoughts on Greenville, South Carolina. We just came off another amazing card. We're going to have Tony Loco Soto on in a couple minutes to talk to him. But of that card, just kind of spotlight your favorite moments of that card, and we'll kind of talk about those, Chris.
Okay, well, my favorite more really involving Tony Loco especially, to be honest with you, I thought he was, as the fight went on, I thought he won the first 2 rounds. Cutting up, Goodjohn right away really messed up his face. I was like, okay, this is going to be a problem. They're going to stop his fight due to cuts. They didn't, I thought he kind of wore himself out in the first 2 rounds. I thought Loco hadn't been. That was a game plan to me for Goodjohn, was to take him into deep water and tire him out. And I thought Loco did get tired. After the second round, I thought he was tired and he was getting pushed around, hit to the body, beat up. I was like, okay, this is Goodjohn's fight. But in that 5th round, Soto sucked it up and he came out and he put a lot of volume out there. He threw punches. And people don't understand how hard that is when you're that tired. So to suck it up like that and come out there, I think that's what gave him the nod in the judges' eyes. I think it was a very close round. I think you could have given it either person because Goodjohn landed some good body shots, more power shots. But, I mean, to suck it up and throw the volume that Soto did, that showed me a lot about him. That was impressive. But besides that, I think the talent that stuck out to me was Brendan Allen. I mean, this guy, he lost his first fight, but he's looked phenomenal. He's been the quintessential of what you want to be in a bare knuckle fighter. He told me once, Chris, I never want to be in a fight of the night. And I look at him crazy because I took pride. I won 6 fight of the nights. I always want to be in a fight of the night. Like, no, that means you're getting hit a lot. And I was like, you know what? Damn, he's right. I never want to get hit. I want to hit and not get hit. I'm like, man, this guy really is making a lot of sense. And then he always talked about, I want to beat this guy up for 5 rounds. But that first round, when he landed that left hook, bam, just look at that. Dude, you're not going to take too many shots like that. He showed he has power, precision, speed, accuracy, and he's hard to hit. He's going to be a problem. I mean, if he can do all those things, it's a perfect bare knuckle style. And the power to boot, man, he's going to be a problem. So keep an eye on him. He's 3-1 now. He lost his first one. He's won 3 in a row. He's going to be a handful for people.
So he's a guy to keep an eye on. And let's kind of go backwards here because I wanted to ask you this, but you're so excited like me. You're talking about the card. You're talking bare knuckle. You're pumped up. One of the main themes today that I've seen online and throughout the last couple of days, and Luis Palomino, we saw a video with him earlier. He does not think that Tony Soto won that fight. If I had to put a gun to your head right now, which I would never do, you're a wonderful guy.
Yeah.
But if you had to say who actually won that fight, where do you stand on that one, Chris?
Man, like I said, when that fight was over, a lot of times I can't really tell as far as how I'm thinking how's it going to go by the judges. As soon as the fight was over, I said it's probably going to be a split decision.
That's what I thought.
Because I felt like the first 2 rounds were Tony Soto's. I felt like the next 2 were definitely Tyler Goodjohn's.
Yep.
I think it all came down to that last round. And then it all comes to me, are you going more for the power shots and the damage being done? Or are you going to go for the volume and the number of punches? A lot of hard punches, a lot of fast punches, a lot of punches were being thrown by Soto right there. And so he sucked it up enough to actually come through and put the volume up there. So that's why I thought it was going to be either volume versus the more powerful body shots. And so I really didn't know. I could see it going either way. I have no problem with in either person won. I thought it'd probably be a split decision, but, in a guy's more hometown area, they're going to win more times than not. So I kind of expected him to win that, but the decision when the fight was over. But, to me, it was a much closer fight than, I feel like a lot of people are saying, if they're saying, I don't know, it just depends on what you look for. And like what I look for damage. So to me, whoever's doing the most damage is winning, but that's not always the way the judges.
Yeah, but
look
how
at
can
it,
you,
so.
Chris? Doing the most damage. But Tyler said it in the press conference, and we said it, and we've seen it. His face is like tissue paper anymore. If you touch it, it's going to pop open. So I think the judges also saw that crimson mask, and that probably worked against Tyler. I believe
100%, man. And I don't care what anybody says. If there's a fight, even if you cut them open in the first round and they bleed for the next 3. In a judge's eye, in a close fight, they're giving it to the guy who's not bleeding. It's like we're talking about damage. When you're cutting bleeding every round, that looks bad. And in a close fight, judges are human. And when they hear the crowd cheering, even like if you're landing punches and the other guy's not, if they look good and the crowd's cheering for the guy, a lot of times they're going to win. I've lost a lot of split decisions. And that's what I've learned. That's what happens. And so I told Tyler, I talked to him, like, man, I learned a long time ago, I never care about what 3 people who've probably never been in a fight in their life think about my fight. I go out there and I try to do what I can. And whatever happens, you have to understand that these judges are not the greatest. They're fallible and they're going to make mistakes and they get affected by the crowd and the blood and everything. And you just got to go out there and do what you can do.
Yeah, I would never even want to be a judge. I just like watching as a fan. But I'll tell you this, man, before we let you go and put a bow on this, Jeff Houston said it during the announcement. I kind of feel this way too. I think that was one of my favorite, one of the best bare knuckle fighting championship main events we've seen. Would you agree with that?
Oh yeah, man! Like I said, it had everything you wanted to be. A lot of volume, a lot of blood, and then at the end, like I said, it really impressed me that Soto was able to come back at that. Usually, when people are tired and they get done and they lose 2 rounds in a row, they don't come back in the last round. So
Yeah.
he really wanted it. He sucked it up. He did everything he could. I'm not sure if he won the fight, but he did enough to. He won the eyes in the judges' eyes. He did. So that was a huge win for him. I feel terrible for Goodjohn because I thought he fought very well, especially dealing with adversity right at the beginning.
Yes.
It was a tough fight, man. I mean, either way they called it, I wouldn't complain. There's a lot of fights I do complain about. That was not one of them.
I've heard you. I know. There's definitely when you look at that fight, it's going to be something that you show people when you want to introduce them to Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship. And the last thing I want to talk about, and I think they have this queued up probably. Did you know that one of the fighters on the card is a rapper? Did you know that?
On what card?
On the card that we're talking about, Greenville, the co-main event, Doug Coltrane versus Blake Lacaze. One of them's a rapper. Which one's the rapper? What do you think?
Gotta go with Coltrane.
Yeah, it's Coltrane. They Cold Red, man. It's a rap name, I guess. But I said to him when I found that out, he should have never told me that because I was doing an interview with him to get ready for broadcast, and I said, "Well, if you're a rapper, freestyle him what you're going to do to your opponent." And he's probably going to kill me that we're going to play this, but I want you to rate his freestyle rap. You want to see it, Lytle?
I want to hear it.
Yeah, you see it, hear it, everything. We're going to play it.
I'm going to just be real. Long dude, about to get smashed. Check it out tomorrow. It's Cold Red, Coltrane, and Blake Lacaze. I guarantee you, I'm getting that ass. No homo.
Nice. I thought you were going to say, that's why I love
There you go, man. There you go. I said spit a couple bars. He did. I want him to do it more often. What did you think of his rapping talents?
Well, I mean, to be honest with you, I still think he's a little bit better fighter than rapper, but he's better than I thought he'd be. He's good. I think it was pretty fun if he just kind of coming right off the cuff like that, just putting him on the spot. I'm sure he thought about it, but that was pretty good. But like I said, he's got power in both hands, and you saw he dealt with got knocked down, came up back and knocked his opponent out. You got to love that. And I like everything he does, but that was like I said, when you got 3 knockouts or whatever many knockouts he's got, he's probably a little bit better knockout or artist than a rapper, but still he's not bad.
Hey, when he's got all those knockouts, I say he can do whatever the hell he wants because I'm not going to tell him to stop.
Yeah, he's going to take that mic from you. Like
that's right. That's happened before.
Don't give up that mic.
So before we let you go, I mean, can you rap, sing, dance? What do you do other than fight and talk?
Dude, I take a punch pretty well. I keep trying to cook y'all some food. You won't let me do that for you, man. I'm a chef. Don't even care, man.
Forever.
I thought we were gonna hang out one day. I'm gonna cook.
Forever, this guy's been trying to cook food for the team. We got to let him do it. Matter of fact, that might be a.
Well, now you got a real chef. That's not cool, dude.
Well, that might be a segment idea. We can have like Lytle's recipes, Lytle's licks, Lytle's something. We'll come up with it as the show goes on. But
we're not doing Lytle's licks. That's not gonna happen.
I was trying to slide that one in there. See, I didn't think you'd hear it. Boom! All right, here we go. Chris Lights Out Lytle, the first rendition of Lytle's Locks. He'll be checking in from time to time, and we're looking forward to talking to you again really soon. Thank you, Chris.
My man, I'll see you this week.
I can't wait, man. It's going to be a good time. So Chris Lytle, awesome to see him as always. We got Tony Loco Soto, who the king of the Carolinas, he's been calling himself, but now he's trying to become the king of bare knuckle. You've heard Chris and I talk about it. You've heard the internet community talking about it, but it's kind of some chaos going on with that fight, with that decision. Of course, you're always going to get the other side maybe not agreeing with it. We've seen that a million times, but you see some people online not agreeing with it, some do. So I always like to see what people think. That's why it was great to talk to Lytle. I agree pretty much with what he said. And I believe that Tony Soto is going to have something interesting to say about that when we talk to him in a couple minutes too. The king of the Carolinas, Tony Loco Soto, coming up. I know that he probably was watching earlier. He watched what Luis Palomino said with the video claiming that he won. And, Luis is interesting because it's so weird for me to see Luis defending Tyler now. Because if you remember, when Tyler came in, they hated each other. It was insane. And now, you call Luis, you call Tyler to get something done, they're hanging out. And to me, that's so interesting with fighting, how that happens. I mean, these guys couldn't even be in the same room together. They had security hold them apart. You got Tyler jumping in the ring. Now they're like strange bedfellows, right? That's what fighting does. Makes for strange bedfellows. So much other great stuff coming up. But the bottom line is, I don't understand. Was the joke? Was there?
It was over air. What do you mean, strange bedfellas?
You don't know what strange bedfellows is?
No.
Okay, I'm gonna teach you something.
Please.
So it's a way of speaking. It's a term. This makes for strange bedfellows. It means that they're not literally in bed together, but they hated each other, and now they're kind of a team. So, I mean, I should have some kind of like the more you know, like back in the day.
His fingers are like penises.
You guys are idiots. I see the show hasn't changed that much, right? That's the Here we go. They love having fun with the sound effects in the other room, and that's why I'm glad they're still here. No, hit it. If you're gonna hit it, hit it. If you're gonna do it, do it.
A fucking feeling.
You know what happens?
All right, can we bring Tony Soto on now, please?
Yeah, I've been waiting for him. Is he here? Is he ready?
Yeah, he's here.
Oh, you didn't tell me he was here. Ladies and gentlemen, he's the king of the Carolinas. All rise for Tony Loco Soto. There he is with his shades on.
What's up?
What's up? How you doing, man?
I'm chilling, bro. Before we start talking, let me get a little bucked up over here. You know, I can't...
Let's do a cheers. Here, put it up to your camera. We'll do a cheers. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers.
It's the first virtual cheers. Congratulations on a win.
I appreciate it, man.
Look at Tony chasing those sponsorship dollars. I love it. So that was great, Tony. Thank you for that. All right, lot to uncover with you, a lot to talk about. First of all, you're in your car. I think it's funny. I feel like when we talk to fighters, they always join in their car. They're never. I mean, Chris Lytle's the first fighter I've seen in a while at home. Maybe because he doesn't fight anymore. Where are you at? Why are you in your car?
Honestly, I'm at the parking lot of my doctor's office. Going to get some more fucking antibiotics because I've been dealing with the upper respiratory infection for like the last almost about 2 weeks now.
You're in your. I thought maybe it was a bare knuckle injury. It's not. Then as soon as you said that, I'm thinking to myself like,
the hands are good. The face is still pretty. We're good, baby.
Oh, you look great, man. The face is so pretty. I thought your wife might have sent you to get snipped. I thought that's where you were going. Maybe you're sitting there waiting on it, man. You snipped yet, dude? I don't know if I can do that. I can't make that commitment. Have you done it?
Nah, fuck that, bro. I ain't snipping that shit. I gotta spread this seed. You already know what time it is, bro.
The kingdom needs to expand. I like it.
Yeah.
So a lot.
But listen, I want to tell you something.
What's up?
This fucking water bug looking motherfucker Palomino. Listen, I even stepped back to him. I stepped to him at when we were backstage before the weigh-ins, because he was talking about how I couldn't look them in the eyes and all that. Listen, you were trying to basically have your boy Goodjohn, get him ready for the title, because apparently I bet your ass is going to vacate it and you don't want to defend it, and I fucked up your plans, so now you feel some type of way. And if you feel some type of way about me having a rematch with him, give a rematch to Elvin Burrito, because everybody thought you lost that fucking fight.
Maybe the Florida judges, they don't judge enough boxing matches out here, because we don't do shit as far as boxing out in Florida.
That's the perfect clip there, Tony. So I can see you're pretty heated up about this. You've thought about it. You probably watched the video with Luis earlier saying that you clearly lost the fight. And the thing is, when you look at that, I mean, they're saying a lot of people. I mean, Dave Feldman actually said it in the press conference. In the press conference that you need to work on your conditioning a little bit. I did notice you seemed like you were tiring out. Just speak on your conditioning, and if that's an issue for you, you're going to work harder next time. Where were you with that?
Honestly, my fucking conditioning is ridiculous. I threw fucking 3-to-1 punches on him. I threw over 300 goddamn strikes. I make no excuses at all, but I do have to say I've been dealing with an upper respiratory fucking thing. I did not make it public because it's nobody's fucking business, but it definitely played a factor into my cardio. The guy was hitting me with some amazing body shots, and at the end of the day, aren't we supposed to leave it all on the line? This isn't a fitness test. This is a fucking fight. I'm going out there and I'm giving it my all. When I went into my corner in that last round and they said, first of all, I said, am I fucking losing? And they said, you need to win this fucking round. You're the king of the shit talk. You're the king of the Carolinas. You need to win this fucking round. I dug deep. I went into it, they say, those deep waters, and I treaded water. I swam with the sharks, and I came out victorious, and they're just fucking mad.
Yeah, I mean, it was chaos in the ring afterwards. I had gotten in there because I was talking about this earlier. I had to reposition Tyler to go on with Cyrus afterwards, and we're seeing some clips of the fight now and what you were talking about. But, as I'm in the ring afterwards, a lot of stuff was happening in that ring. And the first thing Tyler said to me was, I won that fight. And I couldn't really hear what was happening, but I saw you and Luis getting into it a little bit too. We're going to talk about that in a minute, but we're watching some of your fight. I don't think you can see this, but what a fight it was.
I see it.
Oh, you can see it? Okay, so take me through this. Talk about it.
Right here. What round is this? This is, I can't fucking see what round is. Round 2. Yeah, round 2 is nice, man. Like, I actually seen blood squirting out of his face. I was like, holy shit. We knew he was going to put pressure. I knew I was going to put some volume on him. And, you know, my clinch work, a lot of people don't realize every time I clinched him, yeah, he was hitting me in the body, but I was throwing massive amount of uppercuts to that dude's fucking jibs. I was hitting him right in the old jibs, hitting him in the fucking eye, hitting him in the face, you know. Like, I take nothing away from Tyler. The fucking dude is tough as a $2 steak from the Dollar General. But you can't fucking not take that 5th round away from me. 1 and 2 were mine, and I thought 5, I threw a lot of volume. I connected. There's a lot of shots that may appear that they hit me. They did not. I fucking used my shoulder to block a lot. I kept stepping. He primarily went to the body because he realized he couldn't touch this beautiful fish. But, you know, it is what it is, man. Like, people are going to be critics, and I'm okay with that. I've been hated on my whole entire fucking martial arts, you know, career since an amateur. You know, I'm okay with that. You know, as long as I can keep shutting people the fuck up and keep doing what I do, I'm going to be happy, man. I don't give a fuck. Like, your opinion doesn't fill my pockets. Like,
It's a good way to look at it. So what I was seeing in the fight, in the beginning of it at least, is when you cut Tyler, I thought to myself, man, because Tyler cuts easily. We know that. You keep touching him, he's going to make him bleed, and they could call this fight. I had thought that. Now, Tyler didn't want the fight to be called. It's clear there was nothing to him. He's used to it. But I was thinking that could happen. Was that entering your mind as you were entering later rounds? If you keep peppering those, just kind of, the doctor might stop it. Did you feel that way?
Okay. The first and second round, you know, I was like, yeah, I'm fucking this dude up. I sat down, and I guess I told myself that, and I had a fucking adrenaline dump. At one point, I couldn't even lift my fucking arms in that corner. I was like, fuck. You know, I was just talking to myself like, come on, you got to do it. And then I felt like, you know that scene from Tropical Thunder? Savage! And that's all I thought. I was like, you got this, man. Like, he wasn't hitting me as hard. I think it was the 4th round. He caught me with a fucking body shot, and I made a noise. And I know he did. He hit me. I went, oh. And I said, fuck, this dude hurt me. And I just had to dig deep. A lot of people also are talking about that I took him down. I'm going to have to, like, clear the air with this.
Please.
I was clinching him up a lot due to the fact that when Tyler is close, you know he throws a high amount of volume. But if I can extinguish that, and like I said in our pre-fight interview, I grab him, and every time I grabbed him, I was squeezing him. Okay, when I squeeze him, that's restricting his breathing. I was trying to slow him down, too. So long story short, this motherfucker clipped me, and when I grabbed him by the waist, he started walking backwards. I started walking forwards. His legs went. If I would have shot for a double, you wouldn't know, trust me, because that's my fucking move. But regardless, you know, people are going to say what they want to say. I definitely loved the fight. I absolutely loved it. Tyler, I give him, like, you know, the utmost respect. Even going into this fight, you know, I knew his story. I knew what he was doing out in England. I knew what I was getting myself into, and boy, was I excited.
Yeah, I mean, we were excited for the fight. We knew it was going to be great, but then it was even better, I think, than a lot of us expected. So what I was saying earlier was I was in the squared circle after all this went down. Tyler's upset. I didn't really hear what Luis was jammering, Joel, and with you guys going back and forth on the broadcast. But I heard your answer, and you were like, you didn't win the fight. You didn't win the fight. And you're like, sorry for party rocking. Where did that come from?
Okay.
It's random.
Honestly, when he was talking, it just reminded me of that scene from Kung Pao. You know that Asian where she was like, wheel, 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 wheel. And my fucking ADD was. I had a dance recital the next day, and that was one of the songs she was dancing to.
Sorry for party rocking. That's hilarious.
Because I fucked up their little party, you know. Yeah. I was also talking to a certain individual, and I feel like I gotta have to go to Sam's Club and probably get a box of tampons to send to Luis's gym, you know, so he can fucking close his little vagina.
We're gonna watch. We're gonna watch that. Hang tight.
You know you lost this fight. You lost this fight 3 rounds ago. You were gassed the fuck out over there. You didn't want to continue fighting. You kept hugging around over here with your Burger King fucking crown. You know you lost this fight, buddy. You lost this fight. No. You lost this fight. It's my mic. You lost this fight. And you know you lost it. Everybody booing because you lost it. You lost the fight, buddy.
Sorry. Oh, where's it at? It's going to lag now? So
for party rocking. So it is what it
as you hear what Luis says, he's the one that has the gold. You got.
So that's going to be a T-shirt, I hope. Sorry for Party Rock, and that should be your T-shirt. You make a lot of money with that.
That's awesome. But let me tell you something, too. This fighting is not a fitness test. It is a fight. It is not who looks the most tired, who looks the most drained, who feels like they're about to quit. That's when the real fighter comes out, when the real dog comes out, when you need to do it the most, when it matters the most. So if he's thinking that this is a fitness test, at the end of the day, in that 5th round, when I turned it up, why did he slow down? Why was I putting his fighters back against the ropes?
It's true.
Let's think about that.
I also, I think you said in the post-fight press conference, I don't want to misquote you, but you were saying that you got taken to another place by Tyler that you'd never been. You almost got emotional as you were saying it, too, which I thought was interesting. Obviously, a great fight. We saw you fought your heart out, but would you say it's fair to say that's the only time you've been to that place and you enjoyed that place? I mean, most people would be like, oh, my gosh, that was brutal. It was brutal.
No, that you just unlocked a new version of myself, and it's a scary version. And I like it. I like it because not only do I prove to all the fans, do I prove to the organization, do I prove to any doubters, I am fucking tough. And even though I can be as tired as I was, you ain't going to finish me, bro. I am not the guy that's going to be finished. You got to kill me. Literally. You got to kill me.
We're looking forward to see what else you have coming up, but I have to bring this up. I feel like all these Florida guys, Tyler Goodjohn now lives in Florida. You got Luis Palomino. These Florida guys all seem not to like you, to have a problem with you. Matter of fact, I don't know if you saw this, but Brian Duran was calling you out. He said he wants next. How do you feel about that fight? And, what are you looking for?
Well, he's just mad because I beat 2 of his stablemates. That Wang Urita was supposed to beat me. He was at the fight, Olympic trial boxer. I beat him. Then I just beat this guy. He said he was going to beat me in under 3 rounds. Why do I need to look down? Brian Duran has never fought anybody at either my caliber, yet even Goodjohn's caliber. Look at the records on the people he's fought. He's only had 3 professional fights. He's fought fucking, I'm not going to say bums because none of us are bums. I respect every man who steps in that square circle. But he hasn't fought anybody with the caliber that I bring. Like, you're not going to put me down, little guy. Okay? You look like you look like a fucking peacock. I'm going to pluck every feather in your head. It makes no sense to me. You're not the champ. It's either I'm fighting the champ or I'm fighting for an interim title against James Lilly, or we're fighting for a fucking rematch on uncommon ground, me and Tyler Goodjohn.
Well, we're looking forward to whatever you end up doing, whether it's for the title. We just want to see you fight again. Looking forward to that. Thank you for taking the time to come on with us. The King of the Carolinas trying to become the King of Bare Knuckle, taking some huge steps last weekend in Greenville to become that. Tony Loco Soto, good luck getting snipped with your doctor's appointment or whatever you're doing. Your upper respiratory. Go get bucked up. Enjoy your day, my friend. It's always glad to talk to you.
Hey, listen.
Yo.
If you gotta hit him, hit him hard. Have a good day, brother.
He got his own sign-off with the bucked up. If you got to hit him hard. Cheers, brother. Boom. All right. There we go. Tony Loco Soto. Hey, man. Evan, Peanut Gallery, everyone in there. I feel like Tony kind of really spoke for himself. I think that he had some legs to stand on what he was saying, and he defended himself well. What was your guys' thought on the stuff that Tony was saying during that interview? I know you're back there producing, so I don't know if you're able to listen. But
it was great.
You figured that I think that he had some great answers. I don't think. Look at Evan. It was great. Yeah. He's like, yeah. I think that he had some great thoughts and some great ways of kind of combating what people are saying.
What do you think? Do you think he won the fight?
Yeah, you know what? I kind of agree with what Lytle was saying. I think Tony got the first 2, maybe Tyler 3 and 4, and whoever had the 5th round. I think it was the unanimous decision thing threw me off. I didn't think that was going to be it. I thought maybe a split, and I think it could have gone either way, but I thought maybe a split. Unanimous, I don't know, but split, I think it would have been.
I thought it might have gone to a 6th round.
I thought that too. I was looking, everyone was huddling up, but I guess that wasn't in the cards. And I know that sometimes if someone's too damaged, which I really don't think that Tyler was too damaged. I think he looked more damaged. I think he's just used to it.
Well,
Tyler's so tough.
But also most of his fights were 7-rounders.
Yeah, but back in the day.
So
when
I wonder if he's still trying to. I mean, this is his 3rd BKFC fight.
He's a slow starter. He said it.
First.
This is he had.
This is his 4th.
Yeah.
BKFC. So I mean, I don't know. I just think he's had most of his fights in 7 rounds or more. I mean, and he was a professional boxer beforehand, so it's a different pace. And also, they were 3-minute rounds, so you've only got 10 minutes to fight. So you kind of gotta. There's not really much time for a feel-out round. You got to just get after it quick.
100%. I mean, that's a really good thought. I never thought of that, but I figured that he'd be becoming a little more used to it. But Tyler will tell you he's a slow starter, and You know, we saw it, but that's my thought.
I don't think his stock went down at all. In fact,
No,
it went
up.
It went way up.
Yeah.
I mean, any fight he's in, you want to watch. He's exciting.
This is one of those fights, and I feel like I repeat myself when I say it, but it's one of those fights where you win it just by being in it. Of course, Tony Loco Soto won, but Tyler, just by being involved in it, everyone's calling for a rematch.
Yeah, I mean, you heard the crowd.
Oh, it's nuts.
They loved him.
It's going to be a fight that's going to be remembered for a very long time, and not everyone can do that. I was actually speaking to Tyler and Tony off the air about it, and I said, you guys realize that? Like, this is probably the biggest fight you guys have ever had in your career, and not many people get to have a moment like this, winning and losing. It was a beautiful fight and a beautiful moment. We thank you for that. We're going to get out of here in a couple minutes. Before we do, I don't know what to call this. Shits and giggles. I don't know what to call it. It's just random things that happen behind the scenes, or things that I do that I want to share with you guys. There's a couple things. Matter of fact, this is something I did. So I'm an older guy, but I still enjoy making prank phone calls. I enjoy it. It's fun. I'll call news stations. I'll call all over the place. This is an audio thing. It's very short, but I want to kind of show you, and I'll share these things with you when I do it. They're so stupid, but they make me laugh, and I hope they can make you laugh too. So this is me calling a news station. I'm not going to tell you which one, but it was a news station, and you'll hear what happens. My name is Jonathan, I believe, from Portland.
All right, lots of calls for you, Congressman Jonathan, Portland, Oregon, Independent.
Good morning. I know that your screener says I'm part of the Independent Party. I'm not. I'm sorry. They must have it wrong. I want to put that on record. I'm part of the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship Party.
Well, I apologize for that.
She hung right up. You could hear it. You could hear it. I think I edited that part. I was like, you can hear her hang. I'm apologize. She's all nervous, sweating. So these are the things I do for fun. I enjoy making prank phone calls. I enjoy messing with people. And if I can include Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship in it, or this show or anything like that, I'm always going to do it. So I'll share more with you. And the reason I bring this to you is because I want to let you know that you can always send stuff in. And if you're like, well, where am I going to send it? I don't think we have anywhere to send it yet. We are creating everything new. I'd like to have new social media platforms for this. I'll have a new email for you. And anything you do that you think's worth it, please send it. If you think it's a prank call, a funny video, because we have a funny video I'm going to show you in a minute. But the other thing I want to ask for, I don't care how you pose in the picture. I don't care. I was talking to Evan about this, and he came up with a great idea. We want to have all the people that are listening, we want to have photos that we can hang up, not just Dave Feldman watching over me, lording over me. We're going to have everybody up here that's watching. So if you send your photos to us, we can put them up there. And again, I don't care if you're mooning me. I'm actually in Denver. I got mooned. It was great in the crowd. I'm like, what is this guy doing? I wish he would have wiped first at least. Maybe he's going to pull that thing out. But yeah, I heard I could. But yeah, send those pictures in. We're going to have somewhere for you in future shows to know where to send them in. But again, I want this show to be interactive and send videos, whatever. Matter of fact, one of my favorite videos from our last show in Greenville. This is what we do to kill time before you're in the arena, before we're setting up.
So this is actually how we're treated by Dave.
Yeah, right.
You know, if we get out of line, if he doesn't get videos on time.
He'll slap us around. He'll get hit us with liver shots.
Some hidden camera footage we got.
Hidden camera
Let's
footage.
go ahead and roll it.
What you doing, man?
I mean, so I know it's a little traumatizing. You don't have to laugh.
It hurt,
you can
dude.
Show your true emotion.
I thought, hey, I know. Yeah, right. Give me that money. That's a lawsuit. I'll own the whole company. I don't know who it was. Somebody looked over top of me after that happened. And I'm like, I broke my arm. Was that you? Was it Brandoni that did that?
Can we watch that again?
Yeah, I'll watch it again. Let's see it.
All right, lots of calls.
Hold on, here, black screen.
Jeez.
Uh-oh. They canceled us already.
Man.
Right through the chairs, man. I don't know. I'm sure there's more footage of that. But the point is, anything dumb that you and your friends do, anything fun like that, we'll have a little section on the show where you can send it in. We can have some fun with it. Look, I appreciate you. I'm so happy to be back here. Oh, wait a minute. I got to talk about one more thing. We can't show the video of this. I think Mike and Mish might have it. But apparently at our hotel, I wasn't down there, but at 3 a.m., some dude just walked in from the street completely naked.
Are you going to act like that wasn't you?
They didn't catch me. I came in first. But yeah, he was completely naked. Apparently got robbed. That's what he said. And then the poor sap goes up to his room. He gets his room key naked, and the room key doesn't work. So he's got to come back down again, and then he's got to go and get the room key again. I didn't see it, but it was the first thing I heard about at breakfast. I'm just happy it wasn't part of the Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship team. We'll see if we can change that coming up in Omaha. Maybe I'll be the one running around naked. Who knows? Check into the hotel.
So we actually do have an email address if people want to send stuff.
Oh, we have
in.
one.
I'll put it up on screen.
There you go. The Bare Knuckle Show at gmail.com.
We'll get a better one, but that's at least up for now.
Thank you for making that happen so quick. That's these producers, man. They should all have Emmys, each one of them. They're amazing. Like our award-winning Emmy director, 4-time, I believe, Jonathan Evans. They should all have the Emmys. They get stuff done quick. Send it to that right down there. Any funny videos, pictures, or if you want to snap a selfie yourself, we'll hang it up back there, and maybe you'll see yourself on the show. Again, this is made to be interactive. This is the first one. We're not coming out guns a-blazing yet. We're going to build the show together, and I love that because we've been building this company together. So I can't wait to see you again next Tuesday at 12:05. Until then, thank you for a great show. Thank you guys as well, and thank you for being tuned in. And stay buffed up as you knuckle.
The world's most exciting combat sport, Bare Knuckle Fighting Championship presents BKFC 43, Friday, May 19th. In the main event, the undefeated Houston the Assassin Alexander has been on the tear, but Jeremy Pitbull Smith looks to hand him his first defeat. Also see Dakota Cochran fight Noah Cutter, Jade Wong versus Taylor Killer B. Starling, plus many more Bare Knuckle fights. Watch it live on the BKFC app. Download it now at bkfc.com.